What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 28 of the Week in Review. My name is Sean, and on this week's show, we have one movie, one limited edition item, and we'll look forward to this week's new releases. This week's movie is Mission Impossible 6, Mission Impossible Fallout, and I think this is an absolutely fantastic movie. I think it's a type of movie that I am kind of a sucker for. Like, I kind of like that spy espionage sort of thing where, like, oh, you have to save the world, and, like, there's a time limit, and all kinds of crazy stuff is happening. Like, it works for me in a way that, like, I sat in the theater for 2.5 hours with, like, just this big dumb goofy smile on my face. I think it builds really nicely off of the fifth movie, Rogue Nation, which I also watched over the weekend, but I'm not really gonna talk about it. I think Rogue Nation is a very, very good movie as well. So if you're gonna go see Fallout, make sure you watch Rogue Nation, just as a heads up, because they're more it's more of a sequel than Rogue Nation is to something like Ghost Protocol. I think this is a really, really big, really, really fun action movie. I think the cast is great. I think the characters are really, really interesting. I think the story is really interesting, even if it is a little bit overstuffed. And I think that's my criticism of it. Is there was one point in the movie where I actually felt like I was kind of lost in the shuffle of, like, what was going on, because there are so many different things happening all at once. I think somebody was trying to meet somebody for something, I think, but I also think that plot line kind of got dropped. But what's kind of cool about this movie is it boils up to a certain point, probably at the halfway mark, maybe a little bit past the halfway mark. And then a series of events happen, and basically all that stuff gets dropped, and they go, here's the new objective, we're just going to go for it. In addition to the plot line maybe being, like, a little bit overstuffed with some things getting lost in the shuffle, I think this movie is about 10 minutes too long or so. There's a very, like, climactic, exciting chase sequence that happens towards the end of the movie that kind of just keeps going and doesn't feel like it has a very satisfying end, which is kind of weird. Like, I think the overall ending of the movie is satisfying and interesting and well done, but the sequence of events that takes place, like, right before that feels a little underwhelming, which is kind of weird. And I think if they could have cut that sequence down, because basically once the timer starts at, like, I think it's 15 minutes, they have like 15 minutes to defuse whatever, and there's, like, probably 30 to 45 minutes maybe of this whole sequence. And I think if they could have cut that down a little bit, it would have felt a little bit tighter and maybe a little bit more intense, because it does just kind of keep going. This is a movie that has a lot of heart, a lot of humor. It's really, really fun. It's just a big, loud movie that I really, really enjoyed. I think the humor actually works better in this movie, and there's more of it than I was anticipating, than the trailers would lead you to believe. There's one sequence that happens in all the trailers. They show it a ton, and I was like, watching the trailer, I sat there, I'm like, that joke is not funny. He's like, I'm jumping out a window. I'm like, it's not landing the way they probably want it to. But when it plays in the movie, there's actually an extra little bit in there, and it kind of builds up to that particular joke, and that punchline actually really, really worked. And I laughed out loud several times during this movie when they were trying to, like, make it, humorous. Overall, I think this is a really, really, really great movie. I had a blast watching it. Minor criticisms in maybe some of the plots a little bit overstuffed. It maybe, 10 minutes too long, but that was stuff that I thought of after I was out of the theater. When I was in the theater, I had a big goofy smile on my face, and I very thoroughly enjoyed it. I recommend checking this out, but please be sure to watch Mission Impossible Rogue Nation beforehand, or you're probably going to be very lost and confused. This week's limited edition item are Oreos. Are Oreos? Not exactly sure which way. We have Rocky Road Trip Oreo, which are, according to the package, cookie with marshmallow bits and Rocky Road flavor cream with soy nut inclusions. Oh no. There's nuts in the thing? I realized I bought these and I brought them home because it said limited edition on them. And then I realized I don't think I've ever had Rocky Road ice cream. And now that I'm reading the package more carefully, and it says with soy nut inclusions, I think I now know why I didn't ever like Rocky Road, or eat it, I should say. If I haven't had it, I can't possibly dislike it, but I now understand why I didn't eat it as a kid. So, oh boy. Well, I guess let's crack in. It's always made with real cocoa. And I did that great thing where I didn't actually open the thing before I started recording the show. So let's open them now. Those are very fudgy. They kind of smell like just like Cocoa Crisps, Cocoa Krispies, Cocoa Pebbles. Why can I not remember that? I eat cereal all the time. I never eat that, but Cocoa Pebbles. Yeah, Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles. All right. It smells like that if you got it. So, like the previous limited edition we had that was the strawberry shortcake ice cream, these come in the slightly smaller pack, so you get fewer for the same price. But it says limited edition on it, so that's pretty cool, I guess. Man, I'm so bummed if there's nuts in here. Alright, let's try them out. If there are nuts in here, you can't really taste them. It's just more of like a texture sort of thing. Looking at the cookie, though, there's like added stuff on it. It's not just like the typical solid chocolate cookie. So, these actually aren't bad. I think they're pretty good. I found these at Safeway, where I find most of my things, and where all the cashiers at this point know me because I'm there, I don't know, every day buying Baja Blasts that are apparently impossible to find. But I'm pleasantly surprised at how much I enjoy these. I don't know if I'm going to eat this whole thing. I shouldn't. I probably won't. But yeah, if you like Rocky Road, check them out. I mean, even if you're not a big Rocky Road fan, if you're just a fan of chocolate, man, the cream does have like a little bit different of a texture because there is marshmallow in it. It's hard to pick that up on camera. Just kind of looking at it, it's just difficult to pick up on camera, so I didn't worry about showing that off. But there are marshmallows in there, so the cream has a little bit of a different texture, though I don't think it has much of a different taste. They're very, very fudgy, and they're pretty good. So go check them out if you want to. Finally on the show here, we'll talk about this week's new releases. There's a bunch of stuff out this week. In theaters, Christopher Robin is out, Never Going Back is out, and The Spy Who Dumped Me is out. On Blu-ray, we have Tully. On the game side, we have Maximum Football 2018, which I'm sure is going to be absolutely terrible. We also have 2 narrative-based games in War Games, which is only $5, and 1979 Revolution: Black Friday. The Xbox Live games with gold were announced, and starting August 1st, you can pick up Forza Horizon 2, which is a great game, and you can find a review of that game on the channel. I'll put the link in the description below. And Dead Space 3 on the Xbox 360. On the 16th of October, Disney's Epic Mickey 2 hits for the Xbox 360, and For Honor is available on the Xbox One. Overall, a very, very, very good month for Xbox games with gold. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Week in Review. If you like the show, hit the subscribe button, like the video, watch past episodes if you need to catch up, do all that good jazz. If I'm missing something or there's something you're excited about, let me know down in the comments below, and be sure to check back next week and every Tuesday following for more Week in Review.